What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hensey, joined tonight by the man, Brian DeGennaro. How we doing, Brian?
Fantastic as always, Pat. What's going on?
Fantastic as always. We have a couple spring training games under our belt already. We saw some of the Yankees' biggest stars, Gerrit Cole. However, the man I do want to talk about tonight is Jameson Taillon. But before we do that, you guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Let us know in the comments what you think of Jameson Taillon, what you thought of his first appearance as a Yankee. But yeah, we'll break it down really quickly. He came in the second inning, I believe, after Cole struggled in the first. Very clean inning, just one strikeout. I believe no base runners allowed either, which is awesome. He was pitching out of the stretch, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're right.
It was very interesting to see like his new windup. He's very like short armed compared to his long and lanky old delivery. So I mean, honestly, like just based on the one inning of work that we saw out of Taillon, I'm pretty impressed. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could have been worse. I will say, the highlight for me is that his curve looked nasty on that strikeout. That strikeout pitch was just a nasty curve. So to see that working this early in spring training is a really great sign.
Yeah, I mean, also, his fastball hit 94, I believe, which is also a promising. I mean, the guy hasn't pitched in 2 years. Like, my expectations for him going into his first spring start were absolutely nothing. So I think that we should definitely be impressed with him. He had like kind of post game comments. This comment right here kind of says a lot to me. He said, "In my head, I was like, man, I wish I could have gotten a little more in game work there." Now, like that just reeks of confidence. Like that just tells me that like. He knows that he's been gone for 2 years, and he's not scared of being on the mound. Like, he wants to be out there. He wants to get some more work in. He also said, but for the first one, shorter is better, quick and clean, get in, get out. I'm healthy and I feel great. I'll have to go back and watch video to see, but it felt really good. It felt clean. I feel healthy. Those are all the big takeaways. That's exactly what you want to hear. Like, no joke. Like, he couldn't have worded it any better. And I think the biggest takeaway that I'm going to get from this is, I know, take one inning with a grain of salt, but I think that he kind of just like proved that, like, yeah, he can easily be like the number 2 in the Yankees rotation right behind Gerrit Cole. The two boys from Pittsburgh can be the 1 and 2 in the Yankees rotation, especially, I mean, even going into the postseason this year, I think as early as this year, Taillon, if he's not already, he can solidify himself as the Yankees number 2.
Oh, for sure. I mean, again, we're going off of one inning, but
yeah,
he looked good. I mean, and at this early in spring training, if you look good, that's a great sign. You know, like we talked about, his fastball velocity is in good shape. His curveball looks good. And then that's really what, any kind of, you're just looking for any signs of trouble. And right now there are none, knock on wood. So hopefully that continues.
Yeah. I mean, so going into the season, though, would you say that he's the Yankees number 2? Or would you say it's still Kluber right now?
Well, I mean, we haven't seen Kluber throw his one inning, so it's hard to say. But I think Taillon was always expected to be the number 2. I think Kluber is expected to be more of the number 3 or 4. And I think Taillon has a higher upside as well. So, and longer term as well. So, I mean, there's a lot to like about this.
I believe he's through team control through 2022, if I'm not mistaken. So, looking at the Yankees rotation going into this year, Taillon is probably the X factor in the sense of if he stays healthy, he's going to give you solid production. Like, I don't think there's a question if he's going to produce if healthy, because I know he's going to be a very productive pitcher if he stays healthy. But the main question is, can he stay healthy? And based off his first start, and he says he feels healthy, he feels great, I think that's the biggest takeaway we could get from this. And hopefully, as the season goes on, he could just continue feeling healthy. I mean, that's all the Yankees need. Health, Brian. Like, literally.
And length. He needs to build up a bit. But, obviously that'll come with spring training.
Yeah, I mean, but like I kind of said previously, I don't see him or Kluber kind of going more than probably like 5 innings in their first few starts.
Yeah, for sure.
The Yankees are definitely going to ease them in, especially to start the season, because you don't want to take a risk on a guy like Taillon. Like, I know he might be saying, yeah, he's feeling good, he's feeling healthy, but the Yankees are still going to take that with a grain of salt. They're still going to treat him like with baby steps, and rightfully so. Like we keep mentioning, like, this is your guy who we can easily see being the number 2 behind Gerrit Cole and being a solid part in that rotation. So you don't want to risk him getting hurt, a la Clark Schmidt, and how this man was like going 100% in his first bullpen session in spring training. So the Yankees need to avoid mistakes like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I still can't believe that happened. Like
But come on,
who
they're the
was
Yankees.
enforcing that?
How can you not believe that? You've seen what this team has done over the past few years.
Yeah, I listen. I do want to talk about really quickly. Tyone commenting on like the new delivery motion that he has. He said, "I used to be long and lanky, and I wasn't sure where my limbs were at all times. So I definitely feel like shortening up my delivery. I've gained way more control of where my body should be, and I have more awareness of what I'm doing as I move down the mound. Uh, I mean, listen." As long as he's comfortable with the new delivery, because I've seen a lot of people commenting on it on Twitter and other social media. I think the only thing that matters is like whether he's comfortable and confident in the new delivery. If it makes him feel like he can avoid injury and stay healthy that way, who cares how he throws the ball? Like genuinely, like what does it
Yeah,
matter?
for sure. No, but there's always room for improvement, and he's a young guy. And you know, if pitching coaches see that there's something that he can improve on, absolutely, he should try to implement that. So I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I think the last thing that I kind of want to comment on the Taillon presence so far in spring training is the relationship with Gerrit Cole.
Hmm.
I think it's very important going into this year that Taillon it's definitely going to be difficult adjusting to facing big league competition once again after being gone for 2 years, like we mentioned. And I think having that presence of a friend like Gerrit Cole and a familiar face who can easily like help guide him throughout like
Hmm.
this process, I think it's an awesome fit. And I think that's also one of the main reasons why the Yankees went out and got him because of that relationship with Gerrit Cole. I think
For
like
sure.
the day after the Yankees traded for him or something, Cole or Taillon posted a picture with each other, like eating dinner on Instagram. Like it's just something like it's a relationship that I think we mention this all the time. There's a human element to the game,
Yeah.
especially with clubhouse chemistry and whatnot. I think it'll make Taillon feel like 10 times more comfortable going into this year. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. And on the flip side of that, anything that would benefit Cole is a plus as well. I mean, if he's got an extra friend here, a guy that he's really close with, that's great. Maybe that'll take some pressure off of him. Maybe he'll, focus a little bit more on relationships and that stuff. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, listen, I think that that's a key aspect of it too. Cole doesn't if we keep saying this, but if Tyone can truly be that number two in that rotation, it takes a lot of pressure off Gerrit
Yeah,
Cole.
for
He's no
sure.
longer the only solidified arm in that rotation like he kind of was last season. So you take all that pressure off of him in a postseason. He doesn't have to realize that if he loses this game, the series is basically over.
Right.
So I think the emergence of Jameson Taillon this season is going to be very interesting. He's probably the biggest X factor in that Yankees rotation because
Mhm.
Kluber's the veteran, Montgomery and Devi or whoever gets that number 5 spot. They're young guys. You're not really expecting them to step in and be that number 2. So Taillon is that guy, and I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to seeing not only what he does the rest of the spring, but also moving into the regular season. I have big expectations for him, so I'm looking forward to it. Brian, that's going to wrap things up for us today. Listen, everyone. You guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Let us know in the comments what you think of Taillon. I love him. I don't know about you guys. But yeah, stay tuned for our content. Daily pre-recorded episodes every day at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And nightly live streams every night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time as well. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate you all. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Have a good day. Peace.
Later.